Yeah.
So my daughter's in second grade, and the teacher has a behavior management system where the kids earn star dollars for various reasons, being on task and that type of thing. And I hadn't really thought anything of it until the other day she came home and said, "Mom, I'm the second richest in the class." And I was like, "Oh, wow, tell me more about that." And she was telling me how she had earned the dollars by being the first to the carpet and being ready to learn. And I said, "Oh, well, who's the richest in the class?" And she said, "Oh, it's Nathan." And I know Nathan. He's half Japanese and half white. And so it just got me wondering, like, well, if the two richest in the class are both Asians, I just asked her, "Well, Maya, do you know who is the poorest in the class, or who has the least money?" And she said, "Yeah, Sakari." And I said, "Maya, can you tell me the color of Sakari?" And she said, "Sakari's black." And it really struck me. It got me thinking about what was happening in the classroom, and then also how the behavior management system affected relationships in the classroom. And I asked Maya, "Do you ever play with Sakari?" And she goes, "Sakari never wants to play with me." So how do you guys read the situation?
I think I read it as, and I did, I wanted to jump right in with, "Oh my goodness," right? She should be doing this instead. But I think I read it as a teacher who is, like you said, trying out a behavior management system, trying to have students be independent and be responsible for their own, managing their own behaviors in the classroom. And set it up in such a way that she believed that would happen, but I don't know that this teacher is understanding or seeing the consequences of her actions in doing this.
What was the ethnicity of the teacher?
She's a white female teacher.
Okay, because that, to me, that in terms of sort of the cultural pieces of it, that's something that I would want to know before making any assumptions. But knowing that, one of the things that comes to mind to me is, again, sort of piggybacking on what Shelley was saying, you know, like she's trying to implement a system, right? But where are her ideas of what a workable system for behavior is, and are there pieces of her background that influence that, especially since the students aren't from the same cultural place that she is from?
Well, and when I think about the work that we did earlier with the aspects and assumptions of white culture in the United States, I'm looking at, in terms of the question, what might be the underlying issues or problems, I think, as Dan and Shelley were both saying, it's the system. And so there's really that rugged individualism piece. There's the you got to be number one, the winner-loser dichotomy, as well as the work ethic and status power. So the work ethic says hard work is the key to success, and your kiddo is, really focused on being successful, as well as that wealth equals worth piece. And so
the microcosm of this system of doing it this way, and this is the best way, and this is how everyone should act, and we all should be, and this is right. And so that's the feeling I got. And then the independent and collectivism is like, if you do this right, you earn points, you're the best, and I have the most money, so I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And then this other poor little girl over here who does not have as much money is looked at exactly the way she is looked at or thought about in this society. So this teacher, unbeknownst to her or him, has did this microcosm of the world in this second grade classroom.
I guess something, and that's exactly what I got heated when it happened, but it also made me start thinking about my own experience in school and what I was affirmed for. And I started to feel afraid that my daughter would go through the same situation of not really knowing who she is until much later, or instead shaping who she is because that's the way the teacher likes her. And so that was another sort of component to it that I'm thinking about.
And even here in this discussion, because just listening to you, Anna Maria, what you just said, your daughter knows who is the strongest in the class and who is the weakest in the class.
Right.
And
So it seems like we have a pretty good understanding of the issue. So I just want to kind of move us into thinking about how would you respond to the teacher? 'Cause it's something that I have to do, and I'm not quite sure how to do it. So if you can think, or help me to think about how would you respond to the teacher?
Which is wonderful and great. Only thing is, all those parents are not, they don't have that. They're just coming, some parents are just gonna come in and like, this is how it's affecting my child. And teachers need to hear that. They need to hear this parent, even though they can't come to them with a piece of paper saying, this is my third point, and how can I can show you on here how this is affecting my child or what you're doing, but you also have to hear your parents that don't have that.
Yes.
Right.
They just know it's not right, and I need some help. You're the educator. I need you to understand what I'm saying and make some changes in your classroom so that everyone can be successful.
Well, I'm thinking about going back to what's your goal? And I'm making an assumption that her goal is I want to have a positive reinforcement system for good behavior. We've had a lot of discussion about that good behavior really being interpreted through a lens of white supremacy. But maybe that's her goal. And then if whatever that goal is, like thinking about what's another way that you could get at that same goal. And so for just something like that, I'm thinking about, can I engage the kids in a discussion of what does it mean to pay attention? What do we look like when we pay attention? And it'd be interesting to see if they've already internalized what I think it means.